Right now, brought to you by Ford and your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. We bring in the Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President, Stephen Jones. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys.
Now, you had talked about this several weeks ago before the defense just really went on a roll, and one of the things that got mentioned was missed tackles. Is that a thing that you look back, and the Lions are a very talented offense, but you look back at that game and kind of lament the missed tackles there?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you don't have success, and certainly obviously a very disappointing loss for us because we've been playing really good football, then a lot of things play into it. Certainly missed tackles are part of it.
Kenneth Murray kind of took a thrashing over the weekend. I'm curious if you think that's fair based on how he played in this past game and if there is a fix there for you.
Yeah, I think it's always tough. I mean, that's part of, when you play professional football, play in the NFL, play for the Cowboys, you're going to have moments where you get criticized, and certainly he's aware of that. Certainly, as a team, we could have played better, and have to play better going forward if we're going to have any type of shot. But certainly, we are where we are, and we have to move forward with that.
I know that this compacted schedule around Thanksgiving is nothing new to the Cowboys, but how much do you think the mental and physical break on the mini bye can be helpful for the players?
Yeah, I think it's, obviously we had a lot of short weeks there, playing on Monday nights, playing on Sundays, playing on Thursdays. That's part of it, no excuses, but I guess it finally caught up to us because we certainly didn't play as well as we hoped we would play against Detroit. But certainly this break should help the guys get their legs back under them. And, we just got to go back to work and get back and, to executing the way we were doing before the Detroit game.
Stephen, Friday I heard you with G-Bag, and you used the term didn't play our best game multiple times, shoddy, Pickens. We've heard that over and over. I was just kind of curious, in your mind, when this team plays its best game, its A game, what does that look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's, a team that's playing really good on offense that, can put up a lot of points, 30-plus points, I think very capable of. I think when we are playing better on defense, we certainly, we can do the job that we need to do to, hold the team, to where, it's respectable from a defensive standpoint. I think we're getting better defensively. Certainly that was a step backwards against the Lions. As you said, they're talented, but we have to be better than that. And then, the other phase that we lost against the Lions was the special teams. We have to be better on special teams. I'm, a little bit surprised we hadn't gotten Turpin loose this year, but I think ultimately it'll happen. But we certainly didn't have one of our best games on special teams either. We gave up, some big-time field position to the Lions, and they started, at midfield multiple times, and we have to be better than that as well.
Is there ever a thought throughout the organization, or do you have any concern in your mind that Turpin's responsibilities as a wide receiver or the physicality as a wide receiver have taken away from his return capabilities?
No, I don't think so. I just think it's a matter of executing on special teams and getting them that opening to where, he can make the big play. Certainly, I don't think his role on offense is having any effect in terms of what he's doing in the return game, punt and kick return game. I don't think that's affecting that. I think he can do both. He's obviously very talented, and when he gets out in the open field, he makes big plays.
Ryan Flournoy's story with this team is quite fascinating, but he's stepped into the moment when given a chance this year. What do you think you have in that? We get this mindset, Stephen, whenever we see somebody do something, we're like, ooh, that could be this.
Right.
What do you guys feel like you have in that receiver?
Yeah, I think he's obviously a long physical player. He's made his mark to start with on special teams, played really well, and now he's getting the job done and doing the same thing on the offensive side of the ball. He's been a guy that we've always liked. He's always been somebody that makes plays, made plays in training camp in the red zone, and always felt like we had something there. But now he's obviously developing into a really solid NFL receiver.
Shoddy mentioned this earlier. He said the next 48 hours could potentially be a big time period for Guyton and Clowney. How vital is it that y'all can get those players back?
Yeah, I think anytime you get good football players back, it's a huge plus. And obviously we need to get them back out on the field. That's when players play their best, is when they practice. And I do think these next, these next 3 or 4 days are going to be big in terms of them being able to get ready to get themselves prepared, to play the Vikings.
Does everybody in the organization believe that Trayvon Diggs still has the potential to be a good to great football player?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in him for sure. We just got to, the biggest thing, that makes all the sense to me that our coaches keep coming back to is, we've got to get him to where he practices well on a regular basis. That's when he plays his best football. When he's not able to practice and he misses practices, then unfortunately that's translated to how he plays in games. So we just got to get him out there where he's practicing day in and day out, and I think we can get it out of him.
Are monitoring the head issues or concussion issues like with CeeDee Lamb, is that any more difficult than just like, hey, I'm healing from a broken arm or whatever else?
Well, I don't know about a broken arm, but obviously you're taking, we're doing all the things that the NFL and doctors require us to do when you have a player who's had a concussion in a ball game, and certainly he's doing a good job. He's meeting all the thresholds that you need to meet. That'll get him to where he can play this week. And, so far he's had no setbacks.
That's great to hear. That is wonderful to hear. On the other side of the receiving room there, Pickens did have a post that is no longer up. Obviously, it was in the story timeline. Do you ever make suggestions regarding social media, or are you hands off with that?
No, I don't make any suggestions on social media. I don't do it, so I don't give a lot of advice when it comes to social media. I do know Shoddy had a great visit with George, and I'm at peace with where that is.
You're telling me that you don't have any burner accounts that you go and...
No, I stay away from social media. That passed me by a long time ago, and at the behest of my wife and my kids, they all advised me to stay off of it. So I think that's what I'll do.
But if you just switched your name around, Jeevan Stones could be a really cool burner account.
Y'all are killing me.
Now, back on the football field, Javonte Williams surpasses 1,000 yards. I know with the expanded schedule, do you feel like, how big of a milestone do you still think from receivers and for running backs surpassing that 1,000-yard marker still is?
Yeah, I think that's always been a benchmark, for success individually in a given season, is to hit that threshold of 1,000 yards receiving or 1,000 yards rushing. I don't think it's the end-all to be-all that makes you a great player, but certainly, when you're having that kind of production, it certainly points to a player who's playing at a high level. And certainly Javonte's done that for us. I think we got a real chance here happening with certainly having 2,000-yard receivers and CD and George Pickens, and certainly Ferguson's doing a great job as well. But it's not the only threshold in terms of what it takes, how you judge a player, but it certainly points to a lot of production.
Speaking of Ferguson, we all appreciate the toughness that he has both mentally and physically. How do you balance that versus he's run into some fumble issues trying to get that extra 1 or 2 yards? Like, how do you balance that? We know how bad he wants it, but you got to be smart.
Yeah, he's got to protect the ball. He knows that. We all know, at the end of the day, what turnovers do to you in a football game. That was a big part of our problem against the Lions is, anytime you lose that turnover battle, there's usually a pretty good chance you're going to lose the game. And no one understands that more than Ferguson. As you said, he's a battler. He's a competitor. But he also knows we have to protect the ball in terms of, trying to win a football game. And certainly, it starts with winning the turnover battle. You give yourself a great chance to win. And we've just got to protect the ball.
Well, and in that respect, too, Nate Thomas out there at left tackle. I know we're keeping eyes out on Tyler Guyton and everything, but do you feel like you've gotten the play out of your offensive tackles that this offense needed this year? Consistently,
yeah, I mean,
consistent?
I think we're progressing. I think we can always be better. But, yeah, if you look at our offense, and, we've been very productive as an overall offense. And I think in general, yes, they've done a good job. Can you always improve? Absolutely. And certainly with Tyler, hopefully get Tyler back, but certainly like the job Nate Thomas is doing, and he's coming along. And certainly Terrence Steele is doing a good job as well. But in general, no, we've been I think we're progressing as an offensive line and doing the job that we need to be productive on the offensive side of the ball.
Also, this is just kind of a general thing I've always been curious about. You and Jerry, y'all are also fans of this team. I mean, as close as y'all get to these guys and the work that y'all do. But like all fans, if a play happens, we overreact to things sometimes. Do you ever see a play on the field and you're like, all right, that's it, I'm cutting that guy, and then you change your mind later on?
I don't necessarily verbalize it, but I've had those thoughts probably. But certainly cooler heads prevail, and I'm sure everybody's had those thoughts at one time or another, whether it's a coach looking at a player or anything as far as that goes. I'm sure, people have had, wanted to judge me as well in a negative way. So you just got to keep, everybody's out there. They're competing their ass off. They want to win. They want to do their job and do the job that it takes to be successful from the top down. And that starts with Jerry going down through me and Coach Schottenheimer and his staff and our players. Nobody's going to be perfect, but you certainly strive to be that way.
Have you thought about how you want to cut us sometimes after some of these questions?
Of course not. Of course not.
Of course not. Of course not.
Well, Stephen, I can tell you right now. Keep an eye out. It looks like Jeevan Stones is going to be a Twitter account very soon.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
And then
one thing's for sure, it won't be me.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And then last question I have: do you have any tips for us getting World Cup tickets? All right. Do you have any secrets or anything?
You might need to start working 2 jobs because I'm understanding they're really expensive.
Yeah, very true. Well, we appreciate the time. As always, good sir. We'll catch up with you again next Monday.
Take care, guys.